Hello and very good morning to everyone. Welcome to our 2 hours webinar, which is about boosting productivity with Gemini and the n8n, which is the one that for automation. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and if you can see the screen, if you can see my sharing. All right, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so just a quick one. This is Obey. My name is Muhammad Al-Ubaidi. Everyone knows me as Obey, following my family name, as so many Muhammad's name here in Malaysia. And I have a bachelor in electrical engineering. I have a master in computer science, and I have a PhD in artificial intelligence. I'm a certified trainer. We are conducting this kind of a training, the one that related to data analytics, related to artificial intelligence, Python programming language, generative AI, and recently we started with the n8n. I have been working with the Gemini for more than 5 years so far. We have trained more than 5,000 people, the technical training and whatever related to their productivity, especially when it comes to the generative AI tools. All right, so for today, we are going to have a quick introduction about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. We are going to share with you the state of art of artificial intelligence. We are going to understand artificial intelligence as artificial intelligence is not considered as a new technology. It is considered as a technology of 8 decades. If you think it is a new one, it's not. It is something it is a technology which have been in the market more than 80 years so far. We are going to look at why the demand is now and what is the current revolution of artificial intelligence, what is the future plan for artificial intelligence, and then whatever related to generative AI, as long as the main focus today on Gemini. And as you know, Gemini, it is considered as one of the generative AI tools. We are going to also compare Gemini with others, as long as there are many competitors currently in the market. I personally believe that Gemini, it is considered as a generative AI which is taking the lead currently. We don't know in the future, maybe it's going to be something else, or maybe Gemini is going to be even more dominated in the market. We will see based on the improvements and based on the updates, and you can see the update is quite fast. The velocity of the update is like per hours. Like I just got a notification recently, which is like less than I think 2 days, about the improvements in terms of the videos creation by Gemini. A few weeks ago, we were looking at the Nano Banana, and then you can see Gemini. Gemini was almost like heading out, was almost to be dead in the market. Then suddenly Google came with the major upgrade, and you can see now it is considered as one of the very, very good competitor to others. All right, and then we are going to share with you something related to the prompt engineering and the context engineering. As long as we are talking about those generative AI tools, so then definitely we have to go through whatever related to the writing the right prompt. So the question is prompt engineering something very important to do our prompts? I would say yes, but not for all prompts. Some of the prompts, if we are looking for something formal, professional, more detail, or I would say more related details, more relevant information, then we have to use the prompt engineering. We are going to understand how to do prompt engineering. We are going to understand also something related to the current demand, which is the context engineering. Okay, I'm going to share with you some of the tools, some of the websites that to keep you up to date, to keep you updated about all the tools that currently available on the market. And then we are going to end it by the n8n. n8n, it is considered as a platform, and that's a platform for automation. So all the workflow, all the, I would say the AI workflow can be automated with code-free. or they call it zero code. So you don't have to go to do coding at all, 100% no codes. If you are into coding, if you are not into coding, then when it comes to the n8n, you don't have to do any coding, and you can automate a lot of a process, and you can use it professionally. Today, we are going to understand the concepts. We are going to look at the platforms. We are going to look at whatever is related. And then for our coming courses that are going to be provided, then we are going to focus on how to build the whole model, how to fix the issues, how to automate things. It is a matter of like a few hours working to save days, or maybe I would say months, as long as you are going to be able to automate things that usually you used to work on them every day. All right. Okay. So to start with, today, welcome again to our these 2 hours. Then we are going to understand artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, it is considered as, or I would say, the simplest definition of artificial intelligence. It is about how to make the computer machine smart. What does it mean to make the computer machine smart? It means how to make the computer machine think like a human, act like a human, answering questions like a human, making decisions like a human, and doing things usually a human do in their daily routines, either for work, for personal matters, or for whatever they do during the day. So artificial intelligence, as I mentioned to you earlier, it is not a new technology. It is a technology of 8 decades. The first launch of artificial intelligence as a technology, it was in 1956 when the first computer machine came to the market. Then artificial intelligence, it was launched as a science to make that computer machine to act like a human, think like a human, or mimic the human behavior. And with this current development, with this current demand, and with this current, I would say, like a lot of noise, right, about artificial intelligence, we are still didn't reach the level of artificial intelligence that we're supposed to reach, or the level of artificial intelligence that it is supposed to be, or the level of artificial intelligence which is to simulate the human intelligence. Yes, and we will see the current state of art of artificial intelligence. All right, everything, this current technology of artificial intelligence, or I would say, if you ask me personally, everything that we are facing currently in terms of the technology, either artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, blockchain, cryptocurrency, sustainability, whatever else, all because of the big data, all because of the development in the field of the big data, all because of the digital transformation, which is one of the Industry Revolution 4.0 technology about. So whatever we are facing currently because of the big data, the right definition of the big data, it is considered as the huge amount of data that continuously generating by us as individuals or by the private sector and the government sector. And due to the huge amount of that data, we need to find a way to ingest it, archive it, solve the issues, clean it, analyze it, get insights from that huge amount of data, and then to turn those insights into values. Those values can be the models that we are using currently. A lot of companies, they are using a predictive model to predict the sales, to predict the demand, to do something related to the supply chain, to predict maybe frauds. Banks, they are using those data to predict the frauds and whatever related. And even the tools that we have that today we are going to share with you. Today we are going to focus on like half of this webinar, just a theory, and then the other half we are going to do the demo and we are going to practice together. All right, so those tools also because of all the generative AI tools, because of the technology of the big data. And then most of the companies, they agree big data, it comes with those 3 V's, and those 3 V's consider as the facts of the big data. Volume, which is the huge amount of data. Velocity, which is how fast the huge amount of data accumulated, or how fast data keep increasing and in a way that we cannot handle it manually. then we need to find a way to automate the process of handling that huge amount of data. And then variety, it is about the formats of the data that we have. If you look at the data that you are using currently, I'm sure every one of us using data nowadays. Either we are having our personal data, could be images, could be videos, could be PDFs, could be Microsoft Word data, could be coding, could be something else, or can be the data that we are dealing with for our work, right? So if you look at the data that you are dealing with, either the data that comes into rows and columns, those data that we can read them by using Excel sheet. This is considered as structured data. The data that it comes into rows and columns considered as a structured data. And the data that it comes into different formats like images, videos, and so on, we call it the unstructured data, or we call it the raw data. Some of the books related to the big data, they call it the messy data. And it was said 80% of the data that we are dealing with, it is considered as a messy data. It is considered as a raw data. So we need to find a way to like archive all the similar data, the similar format in one repository or in one cluster, and then we start working on it. We can try to structure it, and then after structure it, we can start working on it, analyze it, and do whatever we need to do and whatever the purpose. If you search online, you are going to find other websites, bloggers, vloggers. They might mention 5 V's of the big data, 6 V's of the big data. Some of them, they mention 10 V's of the big data. They are not wrong. They are absolutely right. But all of those V's, if you look at them, consider as an extension from those V's, like value. Definitely, we are looking for the value. Veracity, which is the quality of the data. Visualization, which is how to visualize the data, and many others. Mainly are those 3 V's. So the data is huge. This is all because of the big data and the data continuously increasing. And then we are expecting moving from 5G. I don't think we moved completely to the 5G, right? We're still in the era of the 5G. So a lot of countries, they didn't move completely to use 5G, while some countries like China, they started talking about 6G. They started practicing 6G. So in the future, the data is not going to continuously increasing, it's going to exponentially increasing. So that's why we need to automate a lot of a process. Because of the automation, because the need for the automation, then artificial intelligence becomes on a huge demand currently. Artificial intelligence is all about the automation. Artificial intelligence is all about how to automate things. And currently, this era and even the future, it is all about the automation. So that's why there is a huge demand on artificial intelligence now. And that's why also there is a huge development, or there is these levels of evolution of artificial intelligence. And we are expecting also more things to come from artificial intelligence and more development to face for the field of artificial intelligence. Just a quick one. As long as we are talking about artificial intelligence, then you may ask, what are the main domains of artificial intelligence? Or just to share with you the main domains of artificial intelligence. If you are going to search online, you are going to see artificial intelligence for finance, artificial intelligence for education, artificial intelligence for gaming, AI for marketing, AI for maybe healthcare, insurance, and many other. Yes, I would agree with all of those domains, but it means they are coming from these main domains. First of all, the main domains of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. And then all of those are the algorithms that they work on the data for the sake of learning from the data and apply the learning, or for the sake of learning from data to generate alike data. And this is what the generative AI is about. And then what kind of data? Data could be the spoken data, could be the textual data. That's why we have natural language processing, which are the methods that are going to help computer machines to understand the human language, either the spoken language or either the written language. And then we have computer vision. Those methods that they are going to help the computer machine to understand graphics, to understand vision, to understand videos, to understand things, visual things, like how a human understanding the visuals. And then we have the robotic, which is the machine or the one that is going to can be look like a human and can do what a human doing. And then the latest domain of artificial intelligence called LLM. This is the most up-to-date domain of artificial intelligence, large language model, which is considered as an upgraded step or upgraded version of the natural language processing to learn from a huge amount of the textual data to provide more precise results and more promising results in terms of the accuracy. All right. The history of artificial intelligence, a quick one about it. Artificial intelligence started in the 50s. As we mentioned, it was all about instructing the computer machine to give answers or to do things like how a human giving answers and how a human doing things. Then from 80s, we started to use machine learning, which is considered as a subset of artificial intelligence, which is to learn from the data, to learn from the predefined data, to apply the learning on the new coming data, or to apply the learning on the undefined data, right? And then from 2010, we started with the deep learning. Deep learning considered as a subset of the machine learning. It is all about dealing with more complex data, dealing with bigger amount of data to provide more promising results, or to provide more promising, or to provide more accuracy, or I would say higher accuracy than machine learning. And then from 2020, we started with the generative AI. It is considered as, if you ask me, I would say Gen AI, it is considered as an application of deep learning. Why? Because we are using deep learning techniques, which are the artificial neural network algorithm, in a more complex way to learn from a huge amount of data to start generating alike data. Machine learning, deep learning is all about learning and apply the learning. Over here, generative AI, it is about learning to generate alike. All right. Just a quick one about machine learning and then the applications of the machine learning. This is not to go into the technical part, but just to show you that all of us, we are using all of those models or all of those, I would say, applications of artificial intelligence, but we might not aware of it. Like, for example, the first type of the machine learning, it is considered as a supervised learning, which is about a prediction. All right. So beside the loan default prediction, beside the stock market prediction, if you're into stock market, I think you are going to be familiar with all of those mobile apps that they help you to predict when to sell, when to buy, when to hold on. This is based on using supervised learning. All of us using emails, right? All of us using either Gmail or other emails can be the official email that related to our work. And we always receive those junk or spam emails. So supervised machine learning model, they predict the new coming email, whether it is considered as a spam email or considered as a normal email. So that's why automatically the spam emails goes to the spam folder, and then the other email, they come to our normal inbox. Unsupervised learning. This is one of the very important type of the machine learning for all of those companies, especially the e-commerce companies. And then one of the application, it is a recommender system. If you search in in Shopee, or if you search in Temu, or you search in Shein, or if you search in Zalora, Lazada, YouTube, once you search for something, you will see a lot of other items which is related to your search going to be recommended to you. This is the recommender system. Recommender system based on the unsupervised and supervised. Self-supervised learning. This is the one that is going to learn from whatever data and is going to generate labels and going to generate understanding. So that's why there are a lot of customer behavior. And based on our behavior, then those models, they are going to recommend things to us, not because we search, but because they have a better understanding about us. And we can use it also for work to do a lot of improvements to the data that we have. Semi-supervised, it is about to have better understanding of the data based on the data that we have. Some of them are labeled, some of them are unlabeled. And then this is to improve the understanding and then to improve labeling the data. Then we have the last one, which is the reinforcement. This is talking about the application of the reinforcement learning. It is the auto-driven vehicle, I would say, or auto-driven, or anything related to the auto pathing, like drones, cars. I think you are aware of Tesla. I think Tesla was the first car manufacturer to come with the auto-drive, autopilot car technology. And then we are facing a lot of them currently. And then it was said that by 2030, 90% of the cars going to be auto-driven. They are going to drive us. We are not going to drive the cars. And then next year is going to be the official launch of the drone taxi. Yes, we are going to have a drone as a taxi. Then later on, they call it a drone cab. So later on, when you order your Grab, you might choose a drone, not choosing a car. All right. So this is the application of reinforcement learning. And then you may ask, this is about the machine learning. So what about the deep learning? Deep learning, they do all of these steps beside machine learning, but deep learning is about dealing with more complex data, larger amount of the data. Machine learning, dealing with a smaller amount of the data compared to deep learning. Deep learning needs more compute. Machine learning needs less compute. The biggest challenge of today companies is the compute. Why? Because compute, they have to pay for it. It's considered as much more payment or much more cost when it comes to the development of any of the generative AI model compared to the machine learning. So it's to be considered. If you think that your company, or to suggest to your bosses, or if you are a decision maker, you want to implement AI, then one of the things that you need to think of, it is the cost of the computing. But the good news is, a lot of rumors, they started talking about the AI chip, which is the AI processor. It is supposed to be much, much more faster than the chips that we have currently. NVIDIA, they have been making a lot of noise, I would say, recently on YouTube, on other social media platforms. Then we will see how the AI chip is going to provide faster results with cheaper cost, with a cheaper price. Okay, and then these are the differences. This is some technical differences. Today, we don't want to go that deep into technical. If you are into technical, then you are welcome to join our courses. Then we can go deeper, and we can also use programming language to develop any of the machine learning or deep learning models for you. What is on demand in the market? It is to develop those models related to the supervised, those models that they are going to predict things. Okay, the rest of the models, the rest of the technology, absolutely, they are also on demand, but it's not as high as the supervised learning. So that's why I have the supervised learning in a bigger circle. This is just to show you the demand currently in the market. All right. And then machine learning, deep learning, and now it is the generative AI. It is the movement from the traditional learning to the generative learning. Why? Because we mentioned that it is machine learning, deep learning is all about learning from the data, learning from the predefined data to apply the learning on the incoming undefined data. Generative AI, it is going to learn from a huge amount of data, then going to be generate alike data. Like, for example, you can go to any of the generative AI tools beside Gemini, and you can ask for creating an image of the Twin Tower, the Petronas Twin Tower during the sunrise with the heavy traffic, people going to work, people are joking. Yeah, and the blue sky, then you are going to get that graphic, and you might be like quite impressed by the image that's going to be created by that generative AI tools, or by Gemini, if you are going to use Nano Banana. And you may ask, so how those models were able to generate a like image? Because they were learning on the huge amount of images, graphics, visuals, even videos of the Twin Tower. So now they are able to combine whatever you ask for. They are able to convert your prompts, your instructions, into a graphic. Okay? So this is the current revolution of artificial intelligence, generative AI. And then you can see we are shifting from learning from data to data generation. And then a very simple example about it. AI, either machine learning or deep learning, they can predict the customer churn. Customer churn, which is about predicting whether the customer is going to continue paying for the service or going to stop, whether the customer is going to continue buying your product or going to stop. All right. So can be based on the historical transaction, can be based on other features. Anyway, we can build a predictive model that's going to help us to predict or at least to know what is the rate of the customer churn. A lot of companies, they want to make the rate of the customer churn as low as possible to maintain their business, right? So how generative AI is going to involved over here? Generative AI can help to generate more, I would say, materials or more things to the customers to continue buying the service, or to continue paying for the service, or to continue buying the products. And generative AI can also create more scenarios of the customer churn for the sake of improving the accuracy of the predictive model for the customer churn. All right. So you may ask, what are the differences between deep learning and generative AI? Both of them, they are using the same technology. I can say they are using artificial neural network, but here is about learning to apply the learning. Here is about learning to generate. And then a lot of differences in terms of the architecture, building the models. And then over here, some of the differences in terms of the, I would say, applications and whatever is related. We are going to share with you the slides later on after this webinar, so you can have them and you can go through. So how to apply whatever related to AI, if we are going to talk about something related to the business or something related to the needs of artificial intelligence currently in the market. If we are talking about supply chain prediction, so AI is going to be the rules of working on the supply chain and having always whatever on demand and whatever needed. Machine learning is going to learn when you are going to have a lot of data, when you are going to have a lot of cases, then machine learning is going to learn from your data and then going to predict for you the need, the demand, the what can be maybe the sales in the future, what can be the things on the demand, what's going to be the trend, and so on. And then when your data is going to continuously increase and it comes with a lot of complex, I would say, issues or a lot of complex insights, then deep learning is going to be the solution. So based on what is the amount of data that you have. Maybe you are going to reach a level that machine learning is not going to improve the accuracy. Once you start trying deep learning, then you can see a lot of improvements. But keep in mind, using deep learning, the cost for the computing. And then what is the involvement of generative AI? Generative AI is going to help to create more cases, more scenarios, then to improve the prediction either of the machine learning or the deep learning based on what model are you building. So they can like generate for you whatever is related, then to help you for a better prediction and a better preparation in terms of the supply chain. So everyone talking about the generative AI, And even today, our webinar, it is about using generative AI tools, and it's about using n8n. n8n, it is considered as a part of the AI agent. It's still under the revolution of the generative AI, sorry. Okay, so what is going to be next? The fact is, every decade comes with a new technology. And this is not only related to artificial intelligence, whether artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, cloud computing, networking, any other technology, you name it, we are going to have a new era, a new revolution of that technology within every start of the decade. All right. So this current decade from 2020 to 2030, it is all about generative AI. Everyone talking about generative AI. Thousands of tools available currently in the market for the generative AI. So what is going to be next? Companies, they started talking about artificial general intelligence. All right. Been, I think, couple of years, more than a couple of years, a lot of those high-tech companies, they started talking about the AGI, and AGI is going to be the new revolution, or is going to be the new era of artificial intelligence. A lot of rumors mention that is going to be in the new decade, we are going to have AGI. I am not sure. It depends whether we are going to be able to start with the AGI by the next decade or not. Might take longer, or we might look at some of the real AGI by the mid of the next decade. Okay, so I can see these are the levels, or these are, I would say, the applications that we are going to face, which is the AGI, and it was said AGI, it is supposed to be that artificial intelligence model, which is going to simulate the human intelligence, which is going to be as intelligent as a human. So the question is, do you think artificial intelligence going to be as intelligent as a human? We are going to discuss this question by the end of today. We're going to give you like 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes for the Q&A. Then we are going to discuss one of the questions. This is the question. All right, so after artificial general intelligence, what we are going to have the ASI, artificial super intelligent, which is something from 2 to 3 decades from now. Those AI models that they supposed to pass the human intelligence. So maybe there's another question to discuss by the end of today. Do you think artificial intelligence is going to pass the human intelligence? And you may ask, what is my opinion? All right, I will share with you my opinion by the end of today. And these are the capabilities of the artificial super intelligence. And then what is the current state of art of artificial intelligence? We are still in the very early stage of artificial intelligence. Yes, with this current demand, with this huge development, with the interest of more than 3/4 of the large firms worldwide to use artificial intelligence, that they believe implementing, developing, adopting, using artificial intelligence is absolutely crucial for their success, for staying innovative, for staying competitive, even to survive in the market. Currently, they have to use artificial intelligence. And we are still in the very early stage of artificial intelligence. We are going to look at more improvements in the future. Okay, all right. So let's see what AGI is going to bring to us in the future and what ASI is going to bring to us in the future. But just a quick hint, Imagine AGI is supposed to be that model that is going to exactly act like a human. Like for us, we wake up at the morning, maybe we go to the gym for a while, we cook our breakfast or we make our coffee, then we go to office to do work, we do coding, we do graphics, we do management, we do our usual job, and then we drive back home, we take care of the family, take care of the kids, or we go out for dinner, and then we sleep. Imagine a robot or a model that is going to do all of these things. And that model is going to learn by itself. can do cooking, can do coding, can do exercise, can help with the housekeeping, can do whatever a human doing currently in their daily activities. All right, let's see what will happen in the future. Okay, so prompt engineering. And before we start with the prompt engineering, we are going to do some demo. Then these are the websites which I found that they are good to keep us up to date with the current tools that are available in the market. All right, so let me share the whole screen. Sorry. I think it's better to share the whole screen. All right, so these are some of the tools that I found. I believe maybe there are other tools currently available, but I'm using them to keep myself up to date. All right, one of them, okay, let's click on this one. This is the Futurepedia. So the good thing about the Futurepedia, let me share it with you in the chat. You can have a look. Okay, the good thing about the Futurepedia, this is going to share with you what are available currently in the market in terms of the generative AI tools. At the same time, they are going to provide a daily updates in terms of the demand on the current available artificial intelligence tools. So you can see the current demand: ChatGPT, Claude, Midjourney, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Grok, and Leonardo AI. I believe this is based on the United States. This is to show the demand, to show the maybe something related to the accuracy, some related to other criteria that they use to evaluate the performance of each. So it shows that Gemini is the fifth one. Sometimes I can find Gemini is the third one. ChatGPT is the most, I believe, in terms of the usage, could be ChatGPT the most. Why? Because ChatGPT considered as one of the, of course, considered as the first one, right? The oldest one. So that's why a lot of people are familiar with it. A lot of people, they are comfortable of using it. But we will look at why Gemini, earlier I said it is considered as taking the lead, right? So this is one of the website. And then another one, which you might find it quite surprising. It is this one. All right, I'm going to share with you the link to look at it. At the same time I'm looking at it, please check the chat. Okay, so this website is going to tell us how many generative AI tools currently available in the market. And the name of this website, there's an AI tool for that. There's an AI for that. So currently the available tools, 4290. Yes, 42,000. Okay, I think the question is how many generative AI tools that we are aware of currently? Can you please write in the chat how many tool you are using every day? I'm sure beside the ChatGPT, how many other AI tool? ChatGPT, Gemini? Can we say like 5 of them? Yeah, even if you ask me, I consider myself I'm a heavy user because I do training, I do consultation, I do services. So I use quite a number of them. So if I count them, I don't think I use more than 13. And definitely I'm not using them every day. It depends on what do I have. Then I will use sometimes I use those for coding. Sometimes I use those for graphics, for audio, for some projects that I work on. And at the same time, there are 42,000 available currently in the market. So the demand is huge, and then the offers also is huge. And I would say this is going to give us a hint that we also can build our own generative AI tool. We also have courses that it's about how to build our own generative AI tool. And instead of using those available for everyone, could be maintaining their privacy, maintaining the accuracy. We will see, it depends on the data that we have. And then definitely is going to be much cheaper compared to those that we have to pay monthly. All right. Then from this slide, the rest of the websites you can figure out later on. We are going to share with you the slides. Everyone, they come with a lot of updates, with a lot of hints about the current available tools. I found this website. It is considered as one of the most covered tools. This website, the Tool Hunt, this one they mentioned 18,000 something available currently in the market. Some others they mention I believe this one, the AI Explorer, which is they look only for the verified. You can see there's a verified icon there. So they verified every tool, and they are going to mention. I'm going to share with you only the verified one. And you may ask, how do they verify it? And what is based on what they verified? Is based on some of the things that they believe they have to look at. And the question is 42,000 available currently in the market, 42,000 plus. Are they reliable? All of them are good. Are they accurate? I'm sure not. Not every generative AI tool currently in the market is considered as a perfect one. So that's why we have a huge competition, but it is good to look at what is available currently in the market. All right, prompt engineering, and then we are going to practice soon. Prompt engineering, one of the courses that are provided by Google, it is for the prompt engineering. That one, it is a matter of, I think they have different level, but it is from 9 hours to 15 hours. So I went through that course to save your time. Then I'm sharing with you what that course is about mainly about those 5 steps to come with the perfect result, to come with the, I'm not going to say perfect prompt, but to come with the, I'm sure is going to be the right prompt. And I'm sure you can improve it from there. First of all, it is the task. Task is about 2 things, about the persona and the instruction. Like for example, I'm going to ask Gemini, or I'm going to ask any of the generative AI tool to provide me maybe what? I want to be AI engineer. Okay. I'm quite interested after this 2 hours webinar today, then I'm quite interested to be AI engineer. So I'm going to ask Gemini to provide me advice, or to provide me materials or training or learning or pathway to become AI engineer. So I'm going to ask, first of all, I'm going to start with the task. So what is going to be the task? Persona and instruction. So the persona, I'm going to ask Gemini, act as a professional AI engineer. So we give a persona to the generative AI. Or something related to something else, related to your work, related to whatever, then you ask the persona, ask that generative AI tool to act that person, to act as someone into that profession. All right, back to the AI engineer, act as a professional AI engineer, provide the learning path on how to become AI engineer. This is the instruction. Provide a learning path, or provide a pathway on how to become AI engineer. This is done with the task. All right. And then after that, it is to be specific. This is what we call it the context engineering. So to be specific, those generative AI tools, they have learned from a huge amount of data. If you are not going to limit them, they are going to give you first of all, they are going to give you more general information, and they are going to be more on the surface. They are not going to go deep. All right. So when we are going to sorry, when we are going to ask them to be specific, so it means we are going to limit them instead of providing the results, or we are going to limit them to the things that related to us or related to our interest. Okay, so to be specific, to continue with the same prompt, I'm going to ask, all right, list for me the current platforms for learning how to become AI engineer, either the paid platform or the free platforms, and list the certificates for becoming AI engineer, the free one and the paid one. So you can see by using such a context, then I'm asking Gemini to focus only on the platforms and certifications, and to focus on the free and the paid. All right. And instead of just keeping like that, then it's going to be just general information. All right. So this is the second step. The third step, it is about references. So references can be related to a reference. You can add references like websites, books, training courses, whatever references that you have, if you have. If you don't have references or you don't know any references, then you'll ask for the formats. So you want the result to be in what kind of format? You want it to be like informative way. You want it to be easy to understand. You want it to be into tables and points. You want it to be into 1,000 words. You want it to be academic. You want it to be formal. You want it to be informal, funny, friendly. You want it to be into 2 paragraphs. You want it to be in Bahasa Malayu, you want it to be in Mandarin, you want it to be in Tamil, you want it to be in Urdu, in Arabic, in English, whatever. Then you mention it by in the references. So I'm sure if you are going to come with this kind of a prompt, then you are going to get the most related results to you. And then once you get the result, it is about evaluating the result. So do you think after doing these 3 steps, you got the right result? Then it's fine. If not, then it is about to iterate. It is about to refine till you are going to be satisfied. But once you start with those 3 steps, then I'm sure later on you are going to be able to modify it to get the best results. All right. So you can see this is a weak prompt. So I write about how to become an AI engineer and mention some platforms and certifications. Add links. I would say this is not wrong, and this can be considered as accepted the prompt, but it is not that. It's not a prompt engineering. It's not like a good prompt. It's going to be quite general. But what about this one? Create a report about how to become an engineer. Should include all the current available blah blah blah, and then all of those. This is a better prompt. But based on what I said just now, do we have the persona? Which part is about the persona? There's no persona here, and we need to add the persona. And then this is what we call it the effective prompt or the meta prompting. I don't think you have heard about the meta prompting or the effective prompt. The meta prompting and effective prompting, it is about having the context into points. This is the first thing. To have the context into points, then this is, you are going to do effective prompt based on the current development of the prompt engineering. Maybe in the future, they are going to be in a different format. And at the same time, to do meta prompting, once you are done with the prompt engineering, following these 3 steps, then you ask that generative AI tool to improve this prompt. Then the generative AI tool going to improve the prompt based on what that generative AI tool work on. Then you are going to come with the meta prompting. And most of them, when they do the meta prompting, they come the context into those bullet points. Okay, all right. So this is about the prompting, and then This is the differences here between prompt engineering and context engineering. Context engineering is not only about limiting the generative AI tool from providing the result. It is also about connecting those tools to our folders. Now we can connect them to our Google Drive, to our SharePoint, to our Gmail account, to our folders, to our Dropbox. So once they are connected to our folders, to our data, then they are going to provide us results within our data. So they are going to have better understanding about us, about our interests, about our work. Then they are going to provide us better results. But we should not ask about the privacy later on. If you are, if a privacy is something very important, then it's going to be up to you whether you get them connected to your folders or not. If you ask me, for me, as long as for work, for improvements, I don't care, because the privacy becomes quite subjective. I don't think we have that private life anymore. We are exposed to the CCTV camera, we are exposed to the other cameras, we are exposed to social media. Then I think privacy, it becomes quite subjective. For us developing AI, definitely we are not going to not care about the privacy, but we are not going to talk about the privacy. Okay, here's a Gemini, and these are how to use Gemini. So this one, I'm going to leave it, these slides. Let's work on the Gemini together. All right, so here is a Gemini. And as long as this is just to show you how significant Gemini from others. So I'm going to share with you two things: how significant Gemini, and why did I say Gemini taking the lead? If you ask me, I would say taking the lead. But at the same time, I was not considered Gemini taking the lead maybe 2 months ago or 3 months ago, 3 months ago. All right, it was another generative AI tool taking the lead. But now I believe Gemini taking the lead. And we don't know, maybe in the future, Gemini is going to be even better, this is what's supposed to be, as I can see, this is the plan for Google. And, or maybe other generative AI tool going to take over. So one of the significant difference for the Gemini, and one of the significant, I would say, significant changes or noticeable way of using generative AI tools, it is something related to this, gems. All right, so what is exploring gems? First of all, when it comes to our prompt, like, okay, I did the prompt maybe lasted 3 days, and it was about something related to, I would say, okay, let's have something for fun, some restaurants to go for a date on a Friday night. And I did this prompt 3 days ago. Then I have to go for all of these prompts that I did. You can see all of these more prompting, even some of them in the Arabic language. Then I have to keep digging and checking till I'm going to find the prompt. All right. So it's not going to be easy to find it, first of all. And at the same time, all of those prompts, they are related to different topics. So Gemini now, they offer you a way to start working independently, all right, on a project or on a subject by creating your own gem, all right, or to work on whatever is available by default from Gemini. By the way, I'm using the Pro version, I'm using the paid one, but these features, you are going to use them even if you are using the free account, no worries. All right, so let's click on the Explore Gems. Then you are going to see those are the available one. Storybook, if you are going to going to be into books or designing a book, writing editor, the chess jam, women World Cup, brainstorming, career guide, coding partner. This is the gut safe for those into coding for developers. Learning coach, and then productivity planner. These are the default. You can use them. At the same time, you can create your own. You can see I have created my own. Let's say I'm going to have a project, or I'm going to work on things that are related to some data analytics, data analysis, or some maybe analysis of some data. I'm going to do okay, I want a plan for going to the gym for the month of November. Or I'm going to work with some colleagues on things specifically. So I'm going to create the gym. So click here. First of all, this is going to be the name of the gym. So I'm going to call it maybe, okay, building data dashboard for company ABC. All right. So this dashboard is going to show them the visualization of whatever related to the data. So here it is the description. So description, okay, this is about building a dashboard, and then blah, 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 blah. Then over here going to be the instructions. And based on those instructions is going to be this gym working with. So using data visualization. All right. No worries about the typo. Using Python, Matplotlib, using Power BI, using Tableau, and so on. All right. And then over here, you can add data. You can upload some data, some files. All right. And then, or you can get it connected to the, you can see from the drive. You can add it from the Google Drive. See, do I have the data over here? Yes. Anyway, you don't have also time for that. Anyway, you can add data. All right. And then you can save it. Start chatting. So you can see now you are working independently within this project. You are do the prompting. The file is going to be there. You say you are done today. You worked with this project today, and then you are done, and then you want to continue tomorrow. You come back and you are going to see all the prompts available here, all the files available here. Then you are going to continue. You're done tomorrow. You want to continue after 1 week. You want to continue after 1 month. They are going to be always here within this gym. And you can always find your gyms over here. So as you can see, these are the gyms that I, like for example, can show you. This is something I worked on. So you can see this is the prompts that I did. Okay, so you can see, come back and can start working on it. This is something related to using AI for education. All right. So this is one of the things, this is, I would say, some significant thing of using Gemini currently. Even ChatGPT, they come with a similar concept. Looking at the ChatGPT, I'm sure most of you are into ChatGPT. All right, this is ChatGPT. If you want to work independently, you can click on this new project, and then you can just name it, and then you can start. The details are not as good as the Gemini. Gemini, you come with the instructions, and the instructions is going to be related to what this gym about. ChatGPT, they call it a project. And also they have the same thing. I can show you, I have something it's quite serious over here. You can see these are the files. Last time I used it on 15 September. And then I can look at the prompts. I can look at what results have done. This is the real project I'm working on with one of my PhD students. All right. Same goes to the gems. Then you are going to look at them and you're going to find them. If you ask me, I would say Gemini currently providing better results in terms of this way of using generative AI tool. All right. So this is about Gemini. This is about how significant to use it. And then beside that, definitely Gemini, they come with those two models. And then there's come with a new chat. This is the Nano Banana, the one that we talk about. This is to create graphics. This is to write bulk deep search if you want something more into details. If you want to create a video, it comes to the video. And then to learn, if you want something related to the learning, and here are some of the other tools. So the question is, why Gemini taking the lead? All right. So I'm going to go to the Google ecosystem. And then let's click on the first one, which is supposed to be the Google document. This is Google document. I'm going to click on it. This is a new document. And then as you can see, I have Gemini over here. All right, click on Gemini over here. Then I can start doing a prompt. Okay, to speed up the process, just now, we were using this prompt, right? Is it? Then I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to do the prompting over here. Then submit. And then you can see Gemini is going to work here. It's going to create for me the write-up. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to find information available platform for those. Okay, let's use something simpler. Okay, should include all the current platforms. All right, so while this one is doing the prompting, then you can see this is the this is how to use Gemini within the Google document. All right. I'm going to ask, it's much simpler. What is AGI and ASI? All right. So this is one of the things that is we have Gemini is over there. I think I just need to restart. Or we can generate documents based on whatever is available over here. I'm going to create. So you can see how good is using Gemini. So Gemini with the document, you may ask, because Copilot also we have it with the Microsoft Word. If you open Microsoft Word, we are going to find Copilot over there. If you are going to go for the paid version, then you are going to find Copilot in Microsoft Word. But here is the difference. When it comes to the Microsoft Word, you have Microsoft Office, you have to pay for the Microsoft Office 365, and then you have to pay for the Copilot to use Copilot, which is integrated in the Microsoft Word. When it comes to the Google, when it comes to the Gemini, the Google document is for free. Once you have a Gmail account, you are going to have the what they call it. You are going to have the you're going to have the Google document. All right. And then you just need to pay for the Gemini. And Gemini now, if you have an educational email, then you can use it for free for 1 year. You don't have to pay for it. At the same time, we also have Gemini for the slides. All right. So this is Gemini is over here. Then you can ask Gemini to create a slides. So create a slides about using EV cars. Okay, let's look at this. All right, while this one is working, so we can also use Gemini with the Google Sheet. So this is the Google Sheet over here. Then if you have anything that's related, let me see, maybe. So you can see, you can use from here. Can create a formula, can build a dashboard, can become, now this is the gyms. And so you can do any prompting over here based on the cells, then you are going to get the results. As you can see, based on the using insert, so you can see the slide was created. If you want more slides, then you can create more slides. Again, you may ask if you are familiar with the Copilot. Copilot, you can use Copilot in the PowerPoint, then going to generate for you more slides, going to generate for you the whole topic. I think this is something that Google, they need to work on, Gemini, they need to work on, which is to generate more slides within the same prompt. But if you ask me, I would say the slides, formats, and design by Gemini nicer than Copilot. All right, but you have to create one by one. Okay, so you can see now, this is Gemini also on the Google Sheet. Beside that, if I'm going to go to Gemini, from Gemini here, I can ask Gemini to be integrated in the map. So like, for example, I'm going to ask, show me or show the best ways from, let's say, from KL EcoCity to KLCC. Let's go for the Pro. Let's get it to be nicer. Just close this. So while this one is working, I can see this is into map. If you are using your phone, then you can just click on it, and then later on it's going to be immediately linked to the Google map. And then you can go to from KLCC to KLCC City, or either other way, you're the driving direction. So you can just put whatever direction that you want to go. All right, I'm going to ask set a reminder to check my bills on, let's say, 10 November 2025. So you can see this is going, the set of the reminder is going to be in your Google task. If you go to the Google task, you are going to find it over there. So this is the beauty of Gemini. First of all, Google, they come with the complete ecosystem for us to use every day. So now Gemini integrated in every part of that ecosystem. Gmail account, Google Map, reminder, the generative AI, and then also whatever tool that we need to use, either it is the document, it is the sheet, it is the slides, and whatever related. So while this one is working, so this is the Gmail. And if you want to come with an email, you can see this is even for the free version, you can use it, and you can ask to write, you can do the prompting, and once you do the prompting, it's going to be creating an email for you. You can also use it for those who are into coding. If you are using Colab, Colab is considered as the free they come with a free version to use for coding. So you don't have to install any software. This is just a cloud lab to start doing coding. If you want to learn coding, if you want to write coding into a more professional way, so you can see Gemini is over here, or you can ask Gemini here. Okay, write a code to find the even numbers among a list of numbers. So you can see whatever you are going to prompt is going to be a code. Gemini is going to be generating a code for you. And then this is the, yes, this is the code, is the right one. And then you can just get it connected, as simple as this. Now it's connected. I'm going to run it. You can see from this list of numbers from 1 to 10, you can see the code was created. And then now we have the list of all the even numbers and even more. And you can use also Gemini and the Google Meet. We can use Gemini for more other steps. You can join us for our courses to learn on how to use Gemini in more productive way. So where did I write the? Sorry, I skipped it just now. Okay, all right. So this is about two things about Gemini. Again, it is about using the gems. I think using the gems is considered as one of the wonderful thing, as long as you are going to be able to use it for specific steps. And you want to maintain those specific steps, not to be among all of your other prompts. All right, and the other thing, the significant difference for the Gemini, it is the ecosystem that it is available by Google ecosystem. Okay, all right. So I'm going to skip this just to share with you more things, and not only to focus on the Gemini, and then we are going to move to the n8n. So back to our slides. So just a quick one about n8n. We are going to go back to those. What's happened over here? All right, n8n, it is considered as one of the platform to automate the flow of artificial intelligence. All right, so let me share with you just a quick one to understand the concept of n8n. Okay, you may search n8n. So this is the platform, n8n.io. All right, you come to this website, and then you click on getting started. And once you click on getting started, then you are not going to face this because I already signed up. Then you are going to, all right, you are going to come to some of the questions. All right, then you need to, yeah, I don't have the, all right, let me sign out and then to show you the getting started. Yes, so you just need to fill in these details, and then they are going to ask you for a few questions, and then you are going to be able to sign up for free, and you can use it 14 days free trial. So the free trial is 14 days, you can use it, and then later on you have to pay for the service. Or the other way, you can host it on your server. If you have a server in your office, then you can host it on the server, then you can use it for free. Or you can host it on your device. If you think it's good, if you are going to be that heavy user and you don't want to pay, then you can host it on your device. At the same time, if you have an educational email, then you can use it for 1 year for free. You have to go through few verification and few steps, then you can use it for 1 year for free. So once you are in, then you are going to be able to look at something like that. You are going to be, let me save this. I'm going to come with the new. So you are going to see this interface. So this interface, it is for you to build any AI agent with the zero code. First of all, you may ask, what is AI agent? AI agent, it means you are going to do tasks. You are going to ask AI to do some tasks for you with zero coding, with fully automated. So for example, what is a task? One of the tasks, all right, I want an article about the latest technology of artificial intelligence to be written for me and to be sent to my email every Saturday morning. I like to spend my weekend at the morning reading about the latest technology of AI. Or I want a blog to be written every morning about a specific topic and to be posted on my website. Or I want an email to be sent every maybe twice a day to specific emails. So all of these things, I'm doing them manually. And all of these things, I might use generative AI tools. Like, for example, writing an article about the latest technology of AI, definitely I'm not going with this era of generative AI tools. I'm not going to write the article from scratch by myself. I'm going to ask Gemini, I'm going to ask ChatGPT, I'm going to ask Copilot, I'm going to ask Perplexity, Grok, and others, and then to see which one going to provide the best article. Then I'm going to modify it a bit. Then I'm going to post it on my, for example, my LinkedIn profile. Okay, I'm using generative AI tool. And yes, I'm using the current technology. But what is the benefit of using this? Why do I need to use this? Why do I need to use the AI agent? Or what is the AI agent about? So what I mentioned just now, I'm writing an article, or I want an article to be posted on my LinkedIn once a week, talking about AI, talking about a different topic. So instead of I have to go to those AI tool, generative AI tools, and to be posted and to copy and post on my LinkedIn profile, blah, blah, blah. What about I automate this process? And while I'm just doing other things, then the AI agent is going to do for me. I can just monitor and check. So this is how you are going to do it. The main concept of doing this, it is by using n8n as a platform and using the AI agent. So you come with this empty, clean background. You just click here on add first step. Then you search for AI agent. So after you sign up, you are going to come to this space, AI agent. Just click on it and then just leave everything as default over here. You click on back to the canvas. So you can see the model is over there. This part, it is considered as the input. All right. Or sometimes they call it the trigger. So what is going to be the trigger over here? This part, chat model, this is considered as the brain. So for example, this one is going to write for me the article. Over here is going to be the prompt about the article. And then the memory is going to save whatever been written, not to duplicate or not to write something similar. And the tool over here is going to be, all right, I can add maybe Google search, I can add Wikipedia, I can add websites to write those articles for me from those websites. And this is going to be the output. So this one, I can link it to my LinkedIn profile. This one, I can link it to my Facebook. I can link it to my website. I can link it to my email. I can link it to send it to my WhatsApp. Everything that I want can be done. So as simple as this. Over here, I'm going to add the prompt. I'm going to add the timer. All right. Every Saturday, 8 a.m. what is going to be done is the instruction is going to be sent from here to the model. The model is going to write the article, going to be saved here, going to check from these tools, and then going to come with the posting, because all of those are connected. So let's do something simple. So the model, click on the plus, then you can see all of those models available over here. You can use them. I'm going to use the OpenAI. Once you are going to be here, you have to add the credential. If you add the credential, you have to create an account. You go to the, yes, you go to this one. Okay, let me write it in front of you. Platform dot openai.com. All right, you are going to be here. You need to sign up. My advice to you is to sign up. Forget about your account on ChatGPT. If you are using the paid ChatGPT, that one is totally different. You come here, you sign up, and you need to add some tokens. I think the minimum 5 USD. And then you have to come with the API. API not to be shown. All right, later on, once you are done, then they are going to show you the API. The API key. Something like that. This is the API key is going to be over here. Then you need to copy it. And once you copy it, you come to the n8n and then you put it here. If you want to create a new one, create a new credentials, and then just paste the API over here and then save it and then back to Canva. Now I have it already. So back to Canvas. So you can see ChatGPT is done. ChatGPT is already here. Then I'm going to add a memory. For now, we are going to add a simple memory. This is a simple memory. That's all. Back to Canvas. You can see the simple memory. Tools. I'm going to add Wikipedia. Just a simple one. Leave everything as default. Then back to Canvas. This is a Wikipedia. You can add also Google search. I'm going to click another plus. Then Google search, if I'm not mistaken, is the SERP API. Yes. This is the Google search. Click on it. And then this one also, you have to create an account. So you go to, come here, search for the SERP API. Click on it. This is the Google search API. This is for free. You register, right? I have already registered. So you can see this is the key. Anyway, this key is considered as a private. You shouldn't allow others to see it. I'm going to change it later on. And this is a free plan. Once you subscribe, they will ask you to pay. But if you are going to verify your account, then you don't have to go for the paid account. So you just verify the account by clicking on the link that is going to send to your email. And then maybe it's also good to add your phone number. Once you add your phone number, then you are going to receive a verification code. You add it, then it's going to be verified. Then you can use it for free. And there's no any trial. You can use it for free if you are going to use it within the limit that they provide you. All right. So you can see I have now the Google search. This is, you can move it. By the way, you can zoom in, zoom out. You can move it like that to look at it in a better way. All right, then let's test things. So I'm going to do the prompt over here, and you are going to see how it's going to work on this site. So I'm going to say, it's still good morning, right? Good morning. What's up? So once I submit, please just try to see what will happen here. Which one is going to work? Submit. You can see ChatGPT is working. This agent is working. And then this is the result. Good morning. I am here and ready to help you with anything need. How can I assist you? And this is the output. All right. So tell me a fact or tell me a joke. Tell me a joke from Wikipedia. Does Wikipedia have a lot of jokes? Okay, let's see. You can see now Wikipedia working and the memory also working, and then done, and then this is the joke. Okay, what is the joke about? The orders and elimination, so many. All right, anyway, this is the joke. If you like it, I can share with you more funny jokes. All right. I'm going to say search and Google about finding a fact about a random animal. Let's see whether we are going to have an issue or not. So you can see there is an issue over here. So this is what is going to be happen when you are going to start building the AI agent. So building the AI agent, it is very, very efficient. But it is not going to be just straightforward and it's going to be like every step is going to be moved that smoothly. Why? Because first of all, you have to be aware of all the possible I would say circumstances or the possible results. So that's why we need to check and check and check before we automate it. And then it's going to be more complex than what you see over here. Like I was trying to do something to show you earlier. So you can see, for example, I put here the timer. All right. This is to send the weather. Okay, let me show you the prompt. The prompt is about to provide the weather of the whole day. Tell me a joke from Wikipedia, and then tell me a fact about an animal. All right, and don't repeat the same thing from the previous days. And this is to be sent. You can see the timer. To be sent every day at 8 a.m. All right, just now. This one we didn't work on it. This one you can use the timer. And then the prompt is over here. You can see I'm using the OpenAI, I'm using a memory, Google search. This is the weather. I add another tool which is related to the weather and the Wikipedia. And then I'm trying to get it connected to my email, but my Google blocked my phone number because I'm using it multiple times. I'm using it for multiple emails. So I need to find another way. There are many other ways to get the credentials. All right. I was using this. I can use this, the oath, but this is going to take a few steps to be done. But what I want to share with you, you are going to spend for automation, you are going to spend maybe 2 hours or 3 hours, let's say a day. But then you are going to come with the model, which is fully automated for the rest of the days. You can use it for months. You can use it for more than a year. You can keep monitoring, improving, changing, looking at whatever update available, and then you can use it. This is going to save a lot of time, a lot of efforts, and it is considered as very smooth and very reliable. If you're interested, you can join us for those courses, which is to go for deeper building all of those models. Again, I just want to share with you the main concept. Let's start a new one. as we mentioned, the AI agents. Okay. So here is the main concept. Whatever automation based on what do you want to automate is going to be on this part. You want something daily, you want it to be twice a day, 3 times a day, more than 3 times, weekly, monthly, every 5 days, whatever is going to be controlled by here. What do you want to do? You want emails, you want articles, you want analysis, you want data visualization, whatever can be done by doing the prompt over here. And the input is going to be from here. You can add also more inputs. This one can be moved and you can add more inputs. And then what is going to be the one who is going to do the work is the brain. The brain can be connected from here. Just click on this plus, then you are going to find a lot of models. You can see DeepSeek, Gemini, the Vertex by Google, even Grok, OpenAI. And this is a step by step. You are going to see more models later on in the future, because now it's under huge development. And then you want the memory to store everything. You can click over here, and this is the simple memory that we are using. Beside that, there are a lot of those memories. If you want something much bigger, tools, click on the tools, and limited tools over here. Whatever you want it, whatever you name it, you can find it over here, and then you are going to see always a lot of development. You can see even DHL also available here. So maybe it's a good thing from today onwards, you start on how to automate your work, whatever you are doing now in the office, how to automate it. And then this kind of automation definitely is going to provide you more precise results than you are keep doing things manually. Okay, and then now is going to be the output. So the output, there are also plenty of things over here. Okay, you can see as simple as this. We are lucky. Why? Because this one can be done without any code, zero coding. So before, to build something like that will be a lot of development, a huge amount of efforts and time to come with such an automated model, and then needs to do a lot of improvements in the future. Okay, all right. So just the last part before we end today. So with this huge demand of AI, so just to share with you some statistics about AI. So it was said AI is going to take over 92 million jobs by the end of this decade. At the same time, AI is going to create 170 million jobs. So a lot of talk that AI is going to take over jobs, AI is going to replace me, going to take over my jobs. The reality, and then I think what we call it, the scarcity. The scarcity currently is not the scarcity of job, the scarcity of skills. All right. There is a huge demand on those people with the AI skills. And you can see based on the recent study that shows that by 2030, this is going to be the fastest growing skills. The first one, it is the AI and the big data. And then all of these statistics, all of these information, it was provided by the World Economic Forum. That one, it was on January 2025. It's the statistics of this year. And then what I mentioned to you, building a model, building a generative AI tool, you just need to follow those 10 steps. Define your goal and scope. What do you want to build the generative AI model for? And then to understand the fundamentals and all the basics. Definitely the programming language, one of them, where the easiest programming language to use is the Python programming language. And then you have to use the library and the frameworks. You have to use the environment, the data that you are going to use to train, tune, test, evaluate, iterate, refine, and then you are going to deploy it deployment, you are going to come with the final products. Final product can be a web app, can be a mobile app, or can be anything that are related to how to use it later on as a final product. Building AI models, normally we follow these stages. What is the main problem? What type of AI you are going to use? Are you going to use machine learning or deep learning? From machine learning, which type of machine learning you are going to use? What are the data that you need? How to collect the data, understanding the data, preparing the data, cleaning the issues, and getting insights from the data, and then modeling to build the model, evaluate it, deploy it, as we mentioned just now, can be a GUI, can be UI, can be mobile app, can be web app. Like for example, Gemini, the website is considered as a web app. Gemini also can have it also in our mobile as a mobile app. And then you are going to get feedbacks to improve, and you can see all of these steps considered as iterative steps, always to go back and to improve. Okay, all right. So that's all from me. Sorry, I took longer. Suppose the last 20 minutes for the Q&A and then some evaluation. So this is a quick introduction about the state of art of artificial intelligence, the usage of the Gemini, how significant Gemini currently in the market, how to be more productive to use Gemini, and at the same time, how to automate steps by using n8n. All right, I'm going to stop here for your questions. Thank you so much again.